안녕하세요, 올리버쌤입니다. 그리고 저는 미국 텍사스의 이 숲속에 살고 있어요. 그래서 매일 자연 속에서 아침을 맞고 있는데요. 지난 영상에서 미국 주택에서 살면 어떤 점이 어려운지, 매일 자연과 싸우기 위해 얼마나 시간과 힘을 쏟아야 하는지 현실적인 부분을 알려드렸는데요. 많은 분들의 댓글을 보니 환상이 많이 깨졌고 재밌어 하시더라고요. 저는 아주 괴로웠는데 말이에요. 그리고 저희 집에 우박이 떨어지고 지붕을 교체하는데 5천만 원이 든 부분에서 많이 놀라신 것 같았어요. 네, 눈치채셨겠지만 제 집의 뼈대는 나무로 지어졌습니다. 나무로 잘라 벽을 만들고 영차 세운 뒤 콘크리트를 부은 바닥에 고정을 하죠. 그래서 사실상 콘크리트로 된 부분은 오로지 바닥뿐이랍니다. 나머지 외벽, 그리고 내벽, 그리고 지붕까지도 모두 나무 자재로 뼈대가 만들어지는데요. 이렇게 콘크리트 바닥에 모든 뼈대를 나무 자재로 세우는 건축 방식, 제 집뿐만이 아니라 미국의 거의 모든 집이 이렇게 지어집니다. 심지어 놀랍게도 아파트도 같은 재료로 지어지는데요. 한국인인 여러분 눈에는 아마 신기해 보이죠? 한국 아파트들은 대부분 철근과 콘크리트로 지어지니까요. 그래서 제가 집 영상을 올린 이후로 왜 미국은 약간 나무로 집을 짓는지, 특히 토네이도가 있는데 왜 든든한 철근과 콘크리트를 쓰지 않는지 과장이 아니고 정말 수백 개가 넘는 질문을 받았답니다. 아마 브렛 할아버지라면 여러분의 궁금증을 해결해 드릴 수 있지 않을까요? 저희 집을 짓기 시작한 첫 단계, 콘크리트를 부었을 때부터 모든 것을 지켜보고 감독하셨던 브렛 할아버지는 목수이자 건축가이시기도 한데요. 실제로 브렛 할아버지는 저희 집을 포함해 총 5채 집을 처음부터 직접 지어 올린 경험이 있으시답니다. 저희가 인터뷰하는 내내 체리가 뒤에서 놀고 있는데요. 가끔 소리를 내더라도 양해 부탁드릴게요. Okay, so someone is saying basically wood frame houses aren't that good. You know, they fall apart, they don't last long. Why don't you just build everything with concrete and steel? That's like a very common question I get. What would you say to that?
Building out of wood is more versatile. Mm-hmm. You can do more. It's a design thing more than anything. Well, you look at all the angles on this house, even.
Yeah.
I mean, to make concrete as strong as it needs to be thicker, and it's hard to get the angles you want.
Yeah.
You know, the
It's
design
way heavier
factor.
too.
Yeah, it's
way
heavy. Foundation has to be stronger. Everything has to be built for it. You know, and the cost of steel, especially lately, is way higher than what wood is. Back when in our DeSoto house, I actually was considering doing a steel frame house.
Oh, really?
Now, you didn't know that, did you?
No, steel frame.
No, you know, because they are out there, but when I started figuring out the cost difference between doing it out of wood and brick as opposed to steel, is like triple the cost.
Triple the cost.
Of the material alone,
you
not
were
to
to-
mention
yeah.
the labor to build it. So that's the main reason people don't do it now, is because of the cost. You're going to get this much house with concrete, you're going to get this much house with wood. I mean, it's just that's the difference. Because of the expense of it, yeah, it'd be, you could feel safer, you know, it would be stronger, and it would withhold or withstand a lot of stuff. But this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
You know?
So, same question. Say, why don't Americans build their homes out of concrete? If it's built out of wood, won't it just fly off into the sky like that? That's kind of like the impression that a lot of people seem to get about wooden homes. They think that they're just really, really brittle, like toothpicks basically. They're just gonna fly away.
Well, all the walls are actually bolted to the concrete. So it won't happen like that. I mean, yes, you know, a strong enough tornado can pull it apart, but it can pull apart a metal building too.
Right, it can bend steel.
So I mean, it looks. I can understand where they're coming from. It looks like it would be fragile, but it really isn't. I mean, it's, you know, it's a lot stronger than you think.
Right, yeah.
We've had some 90-mile-an-hour winds every now and then coming through here. This little valley here.
Yeah.
You can hear it,
Yeah.
but it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Around here, most people don't think about tornadoes.
Right.
Yes, it's common, but I've never given it a thought whether, you know, what
Yeah.
to or what not to build based on
Yeah.
what might happen.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's why you have insurance
That's
too.
that's true. I mean, I'm a wood guy, so I'm going to build it out of wood anyway. But like I say, you know, it's not. It's more because of what you can do with wood and the design factor,
Yeah.
as opposed to block
Yeah.
and concrete.
I was researching it, and some people were saying like, if you build a house out of concrete and steel, it's like 20 times more than a wood frame home. So it doesn't make sense. So if you're gonna worry about that, it's better to just build like a bunker or something to go into. Storm shelter.
If that's the only reason you're doing it, yeah, it doesn't make economical sense. You know, but like I say, most people, we don't live in the fear of what's going to happen.
Yeah,
You know, some people do, but
Some
most
people kind of paranoid.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But our house is not brick, but that was a choice. You know, I wanted the old style look of
Yeah.
wood siding on the out, you know, and that's the reason I went this way as opposed to doing a brick house. That's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
You know, we had the money to do what we wanted to do, but this is what we decided to do.
Right, and as far as tornado goes, I don't think it matters to the tornado whether it's brick or
No,
siding. It's,
no. I mean, even the brick house can be torn down.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about tornadoes, they go the roof up.
Right.
Once
okay.
the roof is gone, everything else can go.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the only ones that are tornado proof are the dome houses.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
there are people down in Florida that have created the hexagon or whatever they're
Yeah.
called out of concrete and steel, and they're, you know, no tornado's gonna, or hurricane,
Yeah.
either one is
Or the
gonna bother that.
earth homes, like where the house is like.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much indestructible, I've heard.
They are.
네, 브렛 할아버지의 설명이 재밌죠? 미국 집을 왜 나무로 짓는지 이제 조금 이해가 더 잘 되는데요. 이 김에 다른 추가 질문도 드려볼까요? What about as far as they're saying it doesn't last long? Like, what do you think about that? Like, it doesn't last nearly as long as steel and concrete, but
A well-built house, taken care of, if you paint it, keep it painted, will last hundreds of years. You know, the ones that you see that are torn down is because people wouldn't take care of them.
yeah,
And, you know, this house, you know, it's relatively new, but if I keep it painted, it'll last as long as I want it to last.
right, yeah,
But yeah, you know, we're a young country compared to Korea, so,
Yeah.
you know, we haven't been around long enough for things to last hundreds and hundreds of years. But
It looks like you're living kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think you're talking about the. I've seen on TV or in movies how easy it is to knock down a wooden door. You don't ever worry about the idea of someone smashing the door down.
no. I mean, like I said, I've been around this business for a long time. And I've had one house that someone broke in through the door. Everywhere else is through a window or
Yeah.
the glass in the door. They just break the glass, reach around, and you know. So
I remember.
yeah,
the
it's
blue-
going to happen.
I remember the blue house.
Yeah,
They knocked down our door.
yeah, they did. They knocked the glass out and just came right on in.
Right. Yeah.
And but there again, it's kind of like tornadoes. If you don't, you know, if you're going to live in fear, It could happen.
Yeah.
You just, you know, hope that it doesn't.
Yeah.
One guy I did some work for, he didn't even lock his doors.
No.
He says, if they're going to come in, I'd rather just come in and take what they want and leave without, so I don't have to fix anything.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why the neighborhood is important where you're living too.
Exactly. Where you live is important.
Because I mean, even with like the burglar bars and everything, if they want to get in the house, they'll find a way in.
That's true.
Oh, another question that I saw someone asking me about was like, if you're, you know, since most Americans have a wood frame home, aren't they worried about termites? How do you keep the termites from just eating your house up?
They will if you don't treat it. The place I'm just working on, it was an older building made out of wood, and the termites, when I started taking everything off the inside, all the 2x4s on one portion of it were eaten completely up by termites because they didn't, you know, that's the thing about, we have subterranean termites here. They're in the ground and they come up and on the outside of your foundation, they'll make a little wooden tube, crawl inside that tube, go inside your house. So you need to also.
Yeah, I spray the perimeter.
And that's all you got to do. You know, we had that building treated, and it's good for 12 years.
Oh yeah. Wildfires. If there's a wildfire, shouldn't you have a basement in your house to hide in?
If there's a wildfire, I'm getting out. I'm gonna stay.
Let's go down to the basement. I think they're mixing it up or something with tornadoes. Or if there's a tornado, shouldn't you have some kind of a basement? So I wonder this myself though sometimes, like compared to like up north, here in the south, like in Texas.
To be perfect, I mean, there's a lot. The soil is different here than it is up north. It moves.
It moves. Okay.
It moves more. It's got more clay in it, and it changes with the moisture in the ground.
So if you have like a basement, would that like crack the walls or something?
It's more likely to create water damage.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Think about that. And come to think of it, even if you do have a basement, you know, it can rip the house off and suck you out, I guess.
I mean, it would definitely be safer, but
Not
again,
guaranteed.
it's not something I lose sleep over.
Right.
You know,
Right.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you know, I'm not saying I'm being careless or anything.
Yeah.
But and they do have storm shelters that you can buy and dig a hole and bury it and be perfectly safe.
I think you can actually you can get rebates or something.
Yeah.
자, 여러분 오늘 영상 어땠어요? 브렛 할아버지의 설명으로 궁금증이 풀리셨나요? 요약하면 첫 번째 이유, 나무로 만들면 더 사고 예쁘게 만들 수 있었어. 두 번째 이유, 토네이도가 엄청 강하면 철근이랑 콘크리트로 만들어도 쓸모가 없습니다. 그것도 다 망가뜨릴 수 있었어. 세 번째 이유, 미국인들은 그냥 심의가 달라서 약간 겁 없이 살아야 된다. 그날 오면은 내 날이다. 우리는 다 죽을 날이 온다. 뭔가 좀 이렇게 말해보니까 좀 신기하네요. 이런 심의가 어떻게 보면은 죽을 수 있는 가능성이 항상 좀 있는 것 같아서 굳이 열심히 이것 때문에 스트레스 받으면 안 되겠다는 생각을 해서 그런 것 같아요. 좋은 마인드 같아요. 어차피 우리가 토네이도를 막을 수 없잖아요. 그래서 그런 것 같아요. 근데 토네이도뿐만 아니라 지진도 있고 정문제도 있고 자사고 이렇게 이런 죽을 수 있는 원인 되게 많잖아요. 그래서 굳이 그런 거에 대해서 열심히 걱정하지 맙시다. 약간 이런 것 같아요. 근데 여러분, 전 개인적으로 아마 한국에 한 8년 정도 살아서 어느 정도 한국 사람 된 것 같아요. 마님이랑 체리가 있어서 저는 저희 가족을 왕자랑 공주도 고양이도 저희 가족을 최대한 보호하고 싶은 마음 있어요. 그래서 요새 이런 그 토네이도를 위한 대피소를 설치할까 말까 고민 중이에요. 여러분 어떻게 생각하세요? 할까요? 하게 되면은 가격은 한 1,000만 원 정도예요. 근데 정부가 어느 정도 도와준대요. 그래서 그런 혜택이 있긴 있어요. 집값도 올라가겠죠, 그렇죠? 하게 되면은 여러분들한테 그 재미있는 조차를 확실히 보여드리겠습니다. 네, 어때요? 에피소 고고 아니면 노노? 알려주세요. 아무튼 오늘의 표현 fragile. 네, 부러지기 쉬운 이런 뜻이죠. 여러분 친구가 다음에 여러분의 머컵 혹은 카메라 들고 있으면 그 친구한테 be careful, it's fragile 이러고 말해보세요. 그리고 오늘 영상 마지막에 예문 있으니까 꼭 연습하세요. 그럼 다음에 봐요. 빠잉.
오늘의 표현 부서지기 쉬운 fragile. A wood frame home looks like it would be fragile. A wood frame home looks like it would be fragile. Are wood frame homes fragile? Are wood frame homes fragile? Concrete buildings aren't fragile. Concrete buildings aren't fragile. I don't want to live in a fragile home. I don't want to live in a fragile home.